Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In case you didn't know, my name is Josh McCauley. I'm an online fitness and health coach, and I specialize in helping people going through addiction, specifically with cocaine, alcohol, and gambling. I try and continue to post videos that you guys find helpful and that can either lead you to sobriety or guide you through sobriety. If you have subscribed, I appreciate you very much. If you haven't, please click the subscribe button below, like, comment. I'm always down for more suggestions, how I can do better, how I can improve, what you like. So continue to support. I appreciate it. I see every single one of you guys. Today, I'm going to be talking about how to repair broken relationships when you are going through addiction, when you are abusing substances. Because no matter how successful you are, no matter where you're at in life, if you continue to use cocaine, gambling, and alcohol, you will slowly start to replace everybody with those substances, because it starts out as a social thing to have fun, and then you will find yourself alone in your room doing it. And gambling will bring you down a bad hole, cocaine will bring you down a bad hole, and alcohol will bring you down a bad hole. I don't think there is a single relationship that alcohol has helped. It has destroyed every relationship in my life, and I've watched it crumble. Between my parents, I lost a 5-year relationship, I've almost lost friends. So I don't think there has been any positive benefits in alcohol in my life. So I want to talk about how you can build relationships, how you can repair them, because these substances will destroy it. I guess we can start off by why are relationships suffering when you are abusing substances? And the number one thing is emotionally numbing. We, as addicts, are dealing with problems, or we're not dealing with problems. When we have something come up in our life, if your girlfriend's stressing you out, if your boyfriend's stressing you out, you go use, because that's what you've learned and that's what you've always found comfort in. And, specifically with cocaine, your dopamine goes way up here. So if you had a bad day and your dopamine's, way down, and you just have a quick pick-me-up, you're gonna start enjoying that more. And once you get that dopamine spike, it's hard to get away from. And, as an addict, you don't ever wanna deal with your problems. Another thing is you are lying, you are hiding, you are gaslighting. Because the biggest thing is people going through addiction know they are doing things wrong. They are ashamed, they feel guilty, but they continue to do it. So say your wife is on your case about doing drugs, you are going to start hiding it. And that leads to big problems, because if you're lying to someone you love the most in your life, that is morally wrong. My family is my everything, and I was lying to them. They were giving me money, and I was lying about what I was using it for. I told them I was okay, things like that, which is not with my character. That is completely against who I am as a person. Guilt, shame builds up. So every time you mess up, it just builds on top of each other. Oh, babe, I'm gonna get better, I'm gonna get better. 2 weeks later, you're doing the same thing. Everything becomes transactional. When your girlfriend's happy with you, you're feeling back to good, so you can go use. You can go use again. Or, you did this, so I can do this. And that is very unhealthy in a relationship. There shouldn't be transactional. It should be work together. So that is another big thing that I'm going to be covering. All right, now we're going to get into the 3 pillars of building a healthy relationship. And the number one thing is rebuilding trust. Trust is a huge thing after, dealing with an addict or going through addiction. And the biggest thing for me was what I'm doing now, owning my past. Because for about 9 months since I got out of rehab, I didn't tell anybody. I didn't say a word what I did. I wanted to make sure that I could do it. And part of me being okay with what I went through is coming out and talking about it and showing people that it's okay. Because when I did this, I found thousands of people just like me that, are struggling, and they're afraid to come out and talk about it, because I understand there's a lot of people that are judgmental out there. But I got myself to a place where I feel comfortable enough that I'm okay with who I am. And if people don't like what I've been through or who I am, I don't need them in my life. I am who I am, accept me for me. And that's how it should be in life. You should truly be yourself, and you will attract people that are good for you. So owning your past instead of running from it. Because when you run from it, it's more secrets, you feel guilt, it's in your head, you don't get it off your chest, which might lead to you relapsing. Another thing is consistency over doing big gestures. If you have a wife and you go get her 12 dozen roses or whatever it is once, but then you keep messing up every 2 weeks, what good does that do? That is not a healthy relationship. That's you trying, or that's you trying to win her over so you can do what you want to do. But consistency is key. Discipline is key. I don't want to go to the gym every single day. There's days I'm tired, but I do it anyway. Or if your wife really likes you to cook her dinner every single day. And when you build this consistency, that shows love, that shows trust, because they can rely on you. And when reliance, you have trust, that's how you build a healthy relationship. And the last thing is honesty in the small things. This was a big one for me. I was around arguing my whole life, and it drove me crazy. And it all could have been solved with, hey, you know what? I was wrong there. That was on me. But I was around two people who could never be the one who was wrong. And that's something that I've really gotten better about. I might be in the wrong, or the other person might be in the wrong, but I'll say, you know what? It's not worth it. I'm sorry, and move on. And be honest. Say, hey, babe, I'm really thinking about using right now. Yada, yada, yada. Tell her. Just be honest. She might support you. She might tell you to go to an AA meeting. She might tell you to get a sober support. But honesty is key. Why not be honest with the person you love most and with people you trust? So that is step one of the 3 pillars. All right, and number 2 is emotional regulation. The first thing is to be okay with sitting with discomfort. For so long, we always had this safety net to fall upon when we were emotional, when we were going through things. We found substance. We found comfort in that. But now when we're angry, when we're sad, when we're happy, we don't have that anymore. So you have to learn to navigate situations. And that's something I'm still working on, because I have a short temper sometimes and it breaks out. So I've been really trying to work on sitting back, thinking about it, and then speaking. And you'll notice with addicts, specifically cocaine, their emotions are a roller coaster. They will be really, really mean to the person they love the most. And that is the saddest part of it. But it's because of the dopamine regulation. Normal people, dopamine sits here. When you're on coke, it's up here. When you're coming down, it's way down here. So you will get them in different modes. Whether it's they're on coke, they're going to be like, yeah, I'm so sorry. They're going to give you this whole plan on how they're going to get sober. Then they're coming down a couple days later. Screw you, I hate you, why are you making me do this? Gaslighting you. That is normal with addiction. So when you're getting sober, emotional regulation, you're dealing with it, you are talking to a counselor, a sober support like myself, you are going to AA. I know a lot of people like to go to AA because your brain might get squirrely. You might have a bad day at work and you're thinking about going to the bar to grab a drink. But go to an AA meeting, because there's most likely someone who's going through that or has been through it, and they talk about it every day. They do different topics. And I really like going. It gives me a sense of peace. I don't go as much as I did when I originally got sober, but I'll go and check in every now and then. It's a good group. And that leads us to not reacting with anger, sitting on something, thinking about it before you speak. How often, do you find yourself pissed off and then you say something you regret? Me, all the time. And I've really been trying to work on that, because when you react right away, it's maybe not truly aligned with what you stand for, what your morals are. Think about it. Speak less, think more. And last thing, how to actually listen and connect. So once you're sober, you're able to process things a little bit better. When your wife's, I really don't like when you go to the bar every day. I don't like you doing this. You can think logically and be like, you know what? That's not a great thing for me to do. I want to be a good person for you. I want to love you. I want to be there for our kids. So yeah, going to the bar doesn't make sense. So being able to listen and connect with the people around you. And it doesn't just have to be with a wife. It could be with a friend. Maybe you're mistreating your friend. I've made my grown-ass friends cry through addiction. I said some mean things. But no excuses. You got to work through it. That leaves us with number 3, attracting versus chasing. I touched upon this a little bit earlier, but when you are in addiction, you are attracting every negative thing. For me, I thought I was attracting demons. I thought I was attracting the devil, because that's what I was seeing. That's how much I was using. And I honestly believe, because I was doing so much bad was coming to me. I crashed my car. I, lost some friends. I scared my family. There were so many things. There was one time I came outside of my house and there were crows circling around above my house. And I don't know if I was tweaking or, some shit was about to go down, but that scared the fuck out of me. Not gonna lie. And just really bad things like that kept happening. My car kept breaking down. All of these bad things were attracting to me. I was going to bad places. I was going to strip clubs in the hood. There's bullet holes in the door. We're shooting. So you're attracting all of these bad things, but once you start getting sober and you're doing good things, you're going to good places, you're talking to healthy people, you will start attracting the right people. So when I got clean, I distanced myself from all friends. I got my own apartment and I started doing activities where healthy people go. I joined a run club. I met a lot of nice people. I met some cool people at the gym. I joined a pickup hockey league. I go to AA. I started my own sober support group. So things like that, once you start doing good, good will come. I've had, pretty girls reach out, DM me. I'm attracting what I want, who I am becoming. So all of these things will come to you once you start doing good, and you just have to believe that. And now you don't have any more codependency. You are sober, you're living life, you don't have to rely on anybody, because when you always had that crutch to go to, whether it was gambling, drinking, you had that relationship that was always there for you. It never doubted you, it never left you. Because I've had a lot of people leave me in life and substances never left me. But it wasn't a good bond I had with it. The substances lied. They told me it was okay. They said I could trust it. And it took everything from me. So not having that anymore, you are free. You are free to do what you want. You are free to build your relationships. And that is a big thing. Attract what you want. Attract who you become. So specifically for me, I've seen exactly what I don't want in a relationship. I was surrounded by toxic behavior my whole life. Fights on Christmas, fights on vacation, fights here, fights every single day. And I found comfort in going into my room, crying, drinking, numbing my pain, not telling a single soul. And that fucked me up for years. Like, I was down bad. And I tried to make understanding of love for so long. And I had a 5-year relationship with a girl that I love more than anything. And she left me after I told her about my problem. So on top of that, I was a wreck. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what love was, because I thought if you love someone, you never leave them. And I saw 2 people who loved each other, was what I thought growing up, fight so much. So my mind was trying to make sense of all these things. And, the only way I found comfort was drinking, because I didn't have to think about it anymore. And I wasn't able to understand what a healthy relationship was until I got sober, until I made everything make sense. Because love is a complex but simple thing. There's got to be understanding, there's got to be compassion, there's got to be, discussion. You have to understand and work through problems and be okay with being in the wrong sometimes. Own the mistakes. Go the extra mile to do something that your partner loves. I've had girlfriends that I didn't know how to love them, so I read the 5 love languages. I try and learn. I try and understand people because I care. And I want good relationships, because for so long I didn't have any of that. And I'm really working on that, because, I want a relationship with God. I want a relationship with a girl. I want a healthy relationship with my family. But it's hard when you don't know how to handle people. And a huge thing I'm working on is keeping my emotions in check, because I get pissed off pretty easily. I'm a Scorpio, I sting. But, having that compassion, having that understanding is huge. And that's something that I've faced. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Please subscribe if you haven't. Please give it a like. Please share it with your friends. If you know someone struggling, have them reach out. This is a reminder, I do have a paid program, but all of the information I offer is free. It's how I got sober. It's what I went through. So don't feel like I have a paywall for you to get help. If you think you can do it on your own, I challenge you to watch all the videos, learn the things, and do it on your own. It's a lot easier with a sober support. It's almost impossible without a sober support. But I believe in you guys. I know you guys are going to do good. So thanks for tuning in. In case you didn't know, my name is Josh McCauley. I'm a sober coach. And yeah, appreciate you guys.